Mm, Feel like making love. Feel like making love. Mm, Feel like making love. Mm, Feel like making love to you. Support the show on Patreon. Go to patreon.com/SIT morning, where you'll get all the behind the scenes footage from this and other programming from the Snowman in the Morning canon. That is patreon.com/SIT morning. Now, let's start the show.
Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson is brought to you by Penis Water for the ebbs and flows of life. Trust Penis 15 Water.
On your mark, get set. Let's go.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up?
Montana looking, throwing in the end zone. Caught it! Dwight!
Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
And that'll do it. It's over. The Golden State Warriors return to a familiar place. They're on top of the NBA world.
We're down to 2, now to 1. Here's Jordan. Yes! It is all over for Chicago.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Hey, this promises to be fun.
Oh, yeah! Fun indeed. Welcome to the fantastic, the sensational, no, not sensational, the wonderful, no, not wonderful, fantabulous, there we go. The free Friday edition of Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. I am one half of that duo, Cole Johnson. The other half will join me momentarily, and so more than likely will be Wazelefe, who is of course, Poppy Jane Wazelefe, which will air on the BS3 network later on tonight, actually 11 Eastern, 10 Central Standard Time. That will be airing later on tonight on the BS3 network. And if you don't know how to access that, you can get the app for free on Roku TV, or you can find BS3 on your Roku TV device, or you just go on to BS3TVLive.com and you can see this show, and you can see Poppy J and YZLFA along with Revelations, along with Stuck in My Mind podcast, which airs every Monday through Wednesday, 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central. Everything is good. Everything is lovely. Let us start. Let me set the table, actually. Bottom of hour number 1 will be, of course, of the Shady Sports Network, Same Shady. Top of hour number 2, we will have Ben Sutter III and Mike Debate. And later on, we will enter the Boom Shakalaka. But for now, let us get to the whip around. I actually have to talk about this. Okay. The Carolina Panthers, after embarrassing themselves, coming this close to actually having control of the NFC South, actually gets a victory over the Falcons as they played at home in Charlotte. It wasn't the thrilling 37-34 victory in Atlanta. It was a more pedestrian 25-15 victory where we saw Dante Foreman run for 130 yards on 31 touches, and he got a touchdown. Plus, it was a Laviska Shenault return of 41 yards. And that basically just simply salted away the game. Meanwhile, the Falcons had a chance to have sole possession of first place, but now they risk possibly being a game behind the Buccaneers. We will talk about them a little later. You know, sometimes there is such a thing as there's more important things in football. Such is the case with the left tackle of the Falcons, Jake Matthews. As he got to Charlotte on Thursday, he caught wind that back in Atlanta, his wife was expecting. So the team let him go, which that was wise of them. He went and rushed all the way to Atlanta, got there in time, and his wife delivered a beautiful baby boy. So that was a wonderful thing to see, and I was so glad that happened. And then on top of it, you had the owner of the Falcons, Arthur Blank, say, "You know what? You don't have to drive back. I'll fly you back." So all's well which ends well for the Jake Matthews household. Unfortunately, Daddy has to go home to tell his newborn son of not even a day that his team blew a chance to own the NFC South in 2022. Now, speaking of the Bucks, they will be playing the fellow first place team in the NFC West leading Seahawks in Germany on Sunday. So this has never happened. In their games away from the United States, we have never had two teams in first place actually play on soil that was not the US's. So this game is part of the international series because we saw the London games of last month. This will take place in Germany. And this, of course, is the NFL's way of eyeing expansion. And I think they're trying to hammer home a schedule as to when it would be perfect to have these games air in Europe. And it looks like they have settled on the time of 9:30 a.m. kickoff here, which would be in London would be 2:30, in Germany would be 3:30. They're settling on this, I guess, from the standpoint of, okay, let's see if we can get the proper attendance in Germany and in England, respectively. And let's see if we can get viewership back home in the States. And if it is successful, then we more than likely can have an NFL arm in Europe. So, of course, this goes toward that. The Bucks at 4-5. Gosh, sad that their record is that porous. And the Seahawks 6-3. They will do battle to see who will continue to be in first place. And if Geno Smith can continue to have his torrid start, and if the Bucks can actually right the ship, and if all indications have been the way that offense has operated all year long, the answer to that question is no. Daniel Snyder. Well, just when you think he can get in more hot water, he's gotten into even hotter of water. The Washington, D.C. Attorney General now has filed a lawsuit against him, against the Washington Commanders, against the NFL, and against Roger Goodell. Now, the suit is a consumer protection lawsuit against all of those entities I just named. Now, the Attorney General's name is Carl Racine, and he said in a news conference that his office was suing the parties for collusion. Well, I'll actually say it the way he described it. Quote, with this lawsuit, we're standing up with D.C. residents who were repeatedly lied to and deceived. They have a right to know that the truth about the companies they support with their hard-earned dollars. And we're suing them for colluding to deceive residents of the District of Columbia. Close quote. Well, my boy, Mr. Racine, you should also go ahead and sue all of the 32, well, I'm sorry, the 30 other owners, because Green Bay doesn't have a principal owner. You can sue the other 30 owners of the league too, because look, they invited this guy in and they have been very slow to usher him out the door. So obviously he must be doing something right. Money, 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 for him to be around the NFL ownership partners. Sad news indeed, but I even have sadder news to close whip around. Veteran sports broadcaster Fred Hickman. Now, we used to see him on Sports Tonight on CNN with Nick Charles, and that started in 1980. Well, he was one of those faces that made me want to be in this sphere, with him and Bryant Gumbel and others of the like. Well, he was a big important role. He played a big important role in ushering so many of us who are now doing this and being behind the mic and being in front of a television set to actually talk sports. He was a staple for more than 4 decades. And he also was the first person to appear on air on the Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network, or YES, when the station started 20 years ago. The announcer of the Yankees, Michael Kay, had this to say about Fred Hickman. Quote, Fred was a joy to work with and a joyful person, a total pro that you felt comfortable with, knowing he would lead you the right way on air. He was the first voice ever heard on the YES network, and his professionalism put us on the right track, a track we are on all these years later. Close quote. Well, he was also the first person to host Inside the NBA before, of course, Ernie Johnson took over the role, I think back in 1989. Fred Hickman, sports broadcaster and pioneer in the sports journalism field, dead at the age of 66. And that concludes today's Whip Around. Joining me on this journey, of course, is my partner, Brian Snow, or the Snowman. How you doing, sir?
Good morning.
Good
Did
morning.
we say that the Lakers stink? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not supposed to say.
No, we have not. I have not said the Lakers stink or suck throughout this
Well,
broadcast
you just did.
until
And we gotta pay homage to the fellow who coined the phrase "I'm here to list it in case you missed it." Found out last night, the great Fred Hickman passed away at age 66.
just did that.
Yeah,
Just did that.
long time
Yeah.
sports anchor.
Yeah.
Fred is one of the guys who taught me how to be an anchor. And like I said, when he did the play of the day
Mm-hmm.
and always did a Sunday week review,
Mm-hmm.
he would always say, "I'm here to list it in case you missed it."
Yeah.
And that phrase stuck with me.
Mm-hmm.
It stuck with me. Big
Yeah.
discussion 76, big time Michigan fan in the house with us. A Pizzle Dolphins
Yeah,
fan
brother.
joining us. Andrew, got to show some love for the New Jersey Devils. Big time
Mhm.
Devils fan. Victor Locke in the house with us. And y'all know what today is. You know what's going on at the bottom of the second hour. Middle of the second hour, Mike Debate will join us because we have some picks to do. And y'all already know one
Morning,
of them.
Rod.
I didn't say is Sunday night. Good morning, Rod. Good to see you. You already know my pick for Sunday night, so I don't have to say anything until then.
Mm-hmm.
Blackhawks and Kings went to overtime last night. Kings picked up the winner. 2-1 was the final at the Staples Center. 8 in a row for the New Jersey Devils. Man, reminds you of the Martin Brodeur days. Wait a minute, black man talking hockey? You better damn believe it. My first favorite goalie in the NHL, Grant Fuhr.
Yeah.
And the one who got my attention after that, I don't know, some fellow named Eddie the Eagle Belfour. And that's when I really started getting into the Blackhawks. And even given their recent controversy, and it is a controversy and people should pay for it, I love my Blackhawks. I can't deny. I'm from Chicago. I got to love the Indian sweater.
Yeah.
I got to love the Blackhawks. This week in the NBA was my joint back in the day on Sunday evenings, 6 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Central.
Mine too. Big Discussion 76. Mine too.
I was glued to the television watching that. When you see all the when you see all the highlights and everything. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll continue to honor Fred Hickman as we go toward the bottom of the hour. Sam Shady will join us, and we're going to go north of the border with our football discussion because there are 2 great division finals on the docket with Cole Johnson and a late arriving Snowman because I had to get breakfast. This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Let's make our $200 goal today via Cash App. Back in a flash.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Have you had a chance to visit the Snowman in the Morning shop yet? You haven't? Then what are you waiting for? Go to officialsitmorning.com, check out the shop when you type in the word shop, and you'll see things like, a coffee mug that's available, a sweatshirt, a t-shirt, and a whole lot more. And while you're buying items from the Snowman in the Morning shop, you can support the Snow Strong Carolina mission. We got a lot to do and a short time to get there. Go to officialsitmorning.com/shop. Check out all of the gear and wear the same gear that the crew wears. And when you're doing that, tell them Snowman sent you.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
Steph Curry, Tim Anderson, Jordan Alvarez, and it's caught. Deebo Samuel with the catch. Michael Jordan can sense the throw. Just got the king.
BS3 Network,
the hottest of hot takes, the coldest of cold hard facts. This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Weekdays at 8 a.m. Eastern. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure.
Hey everybody, Snowman here, and thanks for listening to this episode of Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Want to tell you about a little thing we like to call Monkey Knife Fight. Wait, what? What in the world is that, you may ask? Well, Monkey Knife Fight is a daily fantasy site where you can play your favorite games, support your favorite players, and make money at the same time. And right now, if you go to monkeyknifefight.com and use the code Snowman, you will get a 100% deposit match on up to $100 on your initial deposit. Go to monkeyknifefight.com and use the code Snowman for an up to 100% deposit on your first deposit of up to $100. Thanks, and tell them Snowman sent you.
LJPN is sponsored by HoFax. Before she hoe, and you gotta know, tell her to show me the HoFax.
You and that damn Hofax commercial.
What?
And don't what me. You look and sound like one of my children, and I mean that with all the love in my heart. And also, let's to all the veterans, as it is Veterans Day today. So I dropped this to them,
to my federal veterans.
Yeah. My partner included.
Thank you.
And two of the veterans I honor the most, my pops and my grandpa. They were veterans.
Yeah. My father was too. So my father is too. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Oh, you already get it. I don't even have to explain that.
Oh no.
I don't even have to explain what that means.
A lot of the military training that my father did, I benefited from. Just like I know, without even asking if this is true, the military training that your father and grandfather had was indoctrinated into you too.
You see where my fist is, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You don't even have to finish that
sir.
question.
No, sir.
Congratulations to Martin Brodeur, Hall of Fame goalie, becoming the Devils' executive vice president of hockey operations after being an advisor the last 2 years. Perfect choice.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect choice.
Yes, and
Because
also
if you can identify the New Jersey Devils by any number, well, besides 9 for Scott Niedermayer, it would be 30 for Martin Brodeur.
Yeah. Yeah, he's the enduring figure for the Devils that I remember. Yeah. And with great reason.
There's a couple of games this weekend that I'm going to pay attention to that are north of the border. We got Sam Shady coming in about 12 minutes.
Okay. Well,
but you need to make an introduction.
Yes. No, before you get further. Now batting the man who was killing it on the podcast trail with Poppy J and Wise El Jefe and Stuck in My Mind podcast. Number 420, Wise El Jefe. Number 420.
What up?
What's up, man?
I think he heard his introduction and he's like, "Uh-oh, got to smooth things back now."
Oh no, this is
you.
I did not do anything with the hair. It's just there.
You know what?
Sometimes I've had those days too, man. I know.
Same. Before I did the Michael Jordan cut, same. Zach Parise wore 9. Scott Niedermayer wore 27. Thank you, Ryan.
Oh, thank you so much, Ryan.
You know what I loved about Wise yesterday when we were warming up for LJPN? Wise truly got worried.
Oh yeah, I thought it was a bronze.
He said, "Wait." Wise was like, "Wait. What button?
What button? What button we gonna push? What button was it?"
I kept telling Cole to push the button. Wise was like, "Wait a minute, damn it! What button?
What button?"
I cut that. I don't have it in my sound bites. I did cut it.
Oh my god!
I did cut it. But to see the look on Wise's face when we were like, okay, time to push the button, and Wise was like, wait, what button? And I know you bust our chops for this, but it was just so much fun to see. Because I got that look of worry.
We already got that. That's the stick right now. That's where we. That's our stick.
Yeah,
that's what
that's
we
us.
do.
That's us.
So I don't.
Oh,
if y'all already know, I don't care. It don't bother me. It's life, man. I have a great time being on here.
I said something on Facebook yesterday that kind of ruffled a few feathers.
What?
I said trade him, AD, and Russ. Matter of fact, bring him into the office. Hand them all pink slips and let the chips fall where they may. Yeah, I kind of ruffled a few feathers. And I had a conversation with.
Hold on. Wait,
you suckered
me in. You suckered me in. You suckered me in right there.
I didn't say the word. But the mad scientist just put the.
That was the mad scientist. That's why he's off screen doing those things. All right.
Yeah. And then there's this.
Seriously? Come on. Show your face. Show your face. Stop it.
He already did. He started the show by showing his face. What's the brew today, man?
Oh, it's coffee. Just some Bustelo.
Bustelo?
Bustelo, yes.
Well, I want sugar-free French vanilla this morning. Why is it? Victor locks in on the phone. Wise is like, you.
Yeah, he did, man. They sucking me right in, Vic.
Yeah, I think Wise is unearthing a conspiracy theory.
What's that?
That's something we haven't done in a minute.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
So everything's good with you?
Yeah, I got a doctor's appointment, this afternoon. Okay. And then I'm going to watch my mom for a little bit, and then I got the grandson.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. So it's going to be a long day today.
I promise
you.
And
then I got a new episode of Poppy J and Wise coming out today.
Yeah.
I promise you, Wise, we did not trick you.
Okay.
You sound like my wife. You're not buying.
Thank you, Victor.
Not at all.
Why are you not buying it? We didn't trick you.
Not at all.
I love this epistle. One of the reasons why I love doing the other blasphemy is have you just type that in the world,
and to have everyone else in the chat say that also.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, I love the like I say this every time, man. The chat is the reason why I go live now.
Yes,
and a lot of the guys come through the show and share the love, man. Sick, I appreciate it. Drew comes through.
Yeah,
A Pizu comes by, and I got some other people that aren't even listening to us here, but they've found my show and they show me nothing but love, man. I appreciate it. I really do. I really love the fact that it makes them a part of the show and it makes it their show. I can't say it enough. It makes it their show.
And you know, it's so much fun to see you do your thing, Wise.
It's crazy because
when you took the video,
you do it so beautifully too, man.
Because people like the guests, they'll come on.
You took the video aspect. You and your guests took the video aspect and absolutely ran with it. And I love Stuck in My Mind podcast. I love watching it. I love seeing it. Hawk TV in the house with us.
Big shout out to Hawk TV. He comes through and share love too.
Yeah,
man.
And I shout all the folks. I shout all the folks that show love here in the chat. I mean, we bust each other's chops,
bro. They are very supportive. The people in this,
all of them.
The people in this group here are very supportive. If they like you and they feel what you're doing, they're gonna come support the show.
You.
And they come to my show every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Somebody from the group is showing up on my stuff.
And
I agree, and I appreciate it, man. I really do appreciate it.
And I promise you guys, when things get a little less hectic for me, outside of doing all the stuff that I've been doing video wise,
has a lot of he has too much shit on his plate right now.
You know what?
I will come back come back with Cold Sports doing it live.
This is
I gotta let you know.
This is playfully Wise's fault, because remember what Wise said halfway through the summer?
Oh, he's gonna get
all
out.
the new intros started dropping.
I didn't even have to pimp him out. It just
it just happened naturally. It just happened naturally.
My brother is doing his damn thing. He is really doing his thing.
Cole, tell me the title of your USA Today podcast again. I want to be sure I go subscribe to it.
Yeah, it's called Return to View.
And, Return to View.
I'm in one of those episodes.
And and why is it a voiceover one of them?
Wait a minute. You sent me one of those episodes, and it was glued to my ear while I was in post-production. And my wife comes in and she says, "What are you listening to?" And then she heard your voice. She's like, "Is that Cole doing this?" That's Cole. That's Cole. And got to show some love. That's Cole Sports.
Yeah.
With the Z.
But great interview with Poppy.
The first time Cole told me.
I'll get to that. Go ahead.
The first time Cole told me how he got that hook. The first time Cole told me how he got that hook, with the Z. First of all, it's perfect. Second of all, every time you do it, I start laughing. Third of all, when we do it, we get you to laugh. And folks, something happened yesterday. You'll hear it and see it during the weekend edition of the Best of Snowman in the Morning, because I'm putting the video out on YouTube and everywhere else as well. I broke Cole yesterday.
Yeah, you did.
I don't know how the hell I did.
What sucked was, when you have so many things in your brain.
Yes.
It was that. So in rehearsing what I was going to do yesterday, I was like, okay. And there were certain things that when I did it, I just cracked myself up, right?
Right.
And so, of course, when I was doing the Lawrence Tanter version of Maggie Jensen and Carissa Dillon, I cracked myself up. So,
oh man.
So here I am. I'm trying to set all of this up, and I'm laughing at this in my brain, and then I see what you do, and then bam. I never thought I'd break.
Listen,
you've broken us so many times.
It's like, listen, it's like people knew this segment was on because that's when we jumped to like 16 viewers at that time.
Yes,
like 16 viewers tuned into that segment, and that's why that was like, this segment is really fire. Like, if you can make this a completely different segment, it would be dope, because it's dope on itself. Like, just the segment itself is just fire.
Well,
Ray Ray's hilarious.
It's Cole's brainchild. It's Cole to channel what they are thinking. And as Cole explained it to me during a phone call, he's like, I just want to channel what they're thinking. And then he playfully backed it up. Let me do this the right way and pay some homage to my man here. He backed it up and said, quote, I didn't think it would take off like this. Close quote.
I sure did.
To which I playfully respond, you a goddamn lie. You knew it was going to take off.
He's a damn fool if he thought it wasn't going to take off, man. Please. It's like, yo, it's seriously, honestly, I love you, Brian, and everything, but when you made him EP, you've pushed the show to another level.
It was
Cole.
It was the decision. It was the decision I needed to make. It was the decision I needed to make, and Cole was the only person I had in mind.
And the funny thing about that is, Brian was telling me, he says, "Man, people lobbied to be in your spot. I never did. I never did. Never once.
And that's why I think he gave it to you, because he knew you didn't. You like, nah, I got this. I got the right person for it in this.
I didn't have to ask anybody else to be a partner on the show, because I had been a one-man gang for the longest time, and B, it wasn't even a choice for me to hand off the EP duties, especially before I went into surgery, to Cole. It just fit. It's perfect.
It does. It fits him perfectly.
He takes everything that I should have thought of and brings it to life.
I appreciate that.
He takes everything that I should have thought of and he brings it to life. And then he runs it by me. He says, he'll say something to the tune of, I have a surprise for you. And then he'll drop it. I'm like, you thought of this? He says, well, I'm like, yeah, you thought of it, didn't you? Yep. Okay, go with it.
Man.
But you know what's the best part sometimes is when I have an idea and I just shoot it out, and the next thing I know, it's on the screen. Like
like his idea for Off the Rails. Yeah. He says, man, yeah, you should find it. You should find a video of a train. Ding. Got it.
Ding. Yep.
Train going off the tracks. Perfect. Oh, I'm sorry. Wise, you were talking about Poppy.
And then you added
oh my bad.
The City Fifth. You added that clip.
Oh yeah.
You added that clip, and I know that's gonna pop up next week in full force.
Oh, it's going.
I know you're in the lab with that.
Oh, it's going.
I know you're in the lab with it. And Victor said it. Hofax is a perfect example. Someone just said it.
Listen, penis water is a perfect example. Penis water, and the way bass just flows out with the
bass was beautiful with it.
Flows with it so nicely. Penis water, the water. I'm like,
for the ebbs and
that was flows of life. That was a tag team effort. They delivered the VO. Ryan wrote the copy because Ryan McCarthy, you write great copy, sir. And so
Ryan,
that job was easy for me. All I needed to do was find the right image.
Producers of this show, and Hawk TV has an idea as well that we're going to run.
We forgot about you. Be having some great ideas. I'm not going to lie. McCoffee be having some great ideas.
McCoffee just comes up with nuggets and drops them, and then it gets in Cole's head.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Ooh, Victor.
I can't wait for the first sermon.
Victor, I'll say this. I'll say this, man.
It's
Victor,
in the works.
It's in the works. And Victor, I got the pastor's name too.
You have the name?
I got the name of the pastor.
Save it.
Oh my God.
Oh, I ain't saying it now, but I got the name of the pastor.
Save. Yeah, hold on to it. Hold on to it, and just do what you do and just drop it. Because when he dropped the LJPN. And I remember I couldn't be in this studio where I am now. I had to go into the other one here in the house because I had internet connection problems here. When he dropped LJPN, when I was in my other studio, I couldn't stop laughing.
It was epic, that first episode. When he put that cap on and he just started talking.
It's like I told him. I never heard a hood rat go Southern until that moment. And I lived in the South twice.
But it's funny because it reminds me of a lot of the people, like some of the people I hung out with from Florida.
Mm-hmm.
They were from the hood. And they would act just like that, some of them. So it was
then Cole just perfectly encapsulated it all.
Yeah.
All right. He had the perfect slice of twang to it.
Yeah.
And then the latest creation. Domino's, Vamonos. Stupid university. And you were going to change the end of that.
I was.
What you were telling. You were going to change the end of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you listen back to it, which is usually what happens with me when I create something.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you, we've had problems with what am I thinking? Oh, well, SDM Sports Radio Network. We are now connected. And speaking of connected,
we're about to be connected.
Yes, we are. Here's Sam. Good morning, Sam.
Morning, fellas. How's it going?
It's not going as well as you. 8-0, about to be 9-0 on Monday night, is it?
I'm hoping.
I mean,
well, they're home against the Commanders, so I'm thinking.
Okay,
I won't say slam dunk, but that should be a
slam dunk. I'll say it, slam dunk.
Which is watch this. Watch this be the game they go and lay a goose egg now.
That was nearly
That's what
Houston.
I was gonna say.
That was nearly That was nearly Houston this past Monday night. We're going to go north of the border because there are two excellent division finals in the CFL. They play Sunday for a spot in the Grey Cup in Regina, Saskatchewan. Let's start in the East. You have the Montreal Alouettes and the homestanding Toronto Argonauts. And I'm going to give the floor to Sam to break this one down.
Oh, well, this is going to be a great game. I know the Alouettes didn't necessarily dominate their way into the playoffs by any stretch, but they're a great team with a lot of talent, and a lot of that talent is coming back from injury. That's a big reason why they had that midseason slump that we saw. Otherwise, they probably would have dominated their division. The Argonauts, they're a better team than their record indicates as well. So this is going to be a really good game. I'm personally excited for both playoff games this weekend.
Same.
They're going to be a couple great matchups.
And it's at BMO Field in Toronto because for a long time the Argonauts played first Exhibition Stadium and then they played at the Sky Dome.
Right.
And then they moved to BMO Field. There will not be, I will call this right now, there will not be a seat to be had in the house at BMO Field on Sunday.
I would hope not.
There will not be a seat to be had in the house at BMO Field. And one year, when the wife and I start traveling, we're going to make all the stadiums in the CFL just to check them out. What do you think is the key to the East Division final? Let's go first for Montreal.
Well, Montreal needs to limit mistakes. I mean, that's what we've seen out of their quarterback position all season long. When they limit mistakes, they win games. They don't. At point blank, now that Vernon Adams is gone, they don't have the playmaker at the position to carry the team. He just simply is a game manager. You know, he's there to make sure the offense keeps moving, basically. You know, they've got playmakers around him at wide receiver that he just needs to get the ball into their hands and let them work. And then on the other side, Toronto really needs to put pressure on Montreal's quarterback. If they don't, this game could definitely sway Montreal's way pretty quickly.
Yeah, McLeod Bethel Thompson is due for a big game because if you look at the second half of the season, Macbeth, as he's known as in Toronto, he really, really struggled. He hadn't put like a good string of games together second half of the year.
That's very true. That's very true. A lot of people weren't very happy with his play, and I actually heard some people calling for him to be benched. But at the end of the day, they're in the playoffs, so you know he kind of tightened back up there. but I think he's going to ultimately have a couple good games, and Toronto might end up in the Grey Cup.
Let's look at the Western Final, and it's the Western Final that everyone, myself included, has been talking about since the first time those two played. It's the BC Lions and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Biggest difference, and we don't even have to say any more than this. Biggest difference in this game, Nathan Rourke is back.
100%. This is now going to be a quarterback duel. I'm very excited to see this game due to that fact in itself.
I'm excited to see what Nathan Rourke would do to that Winnipeg defense because, except for 2 occasions, that Winnipeg defense has not been challenged.
That's a great point. They really haven't been. It seems like a lot of teams have gotten behind quickly. And then at that point, they allow their pass rush to just kind of pin their ears back and go after the opposing quarterback. But if BC is able to put up points early, I think this becomes a shootout, and Winnipeg's going to be out of their element.
Yeah, because it's it's at IG Field in Winnipeg, so the elements are going to come into play. But the second half of the year, BC has been a great road team. We'll get to our picks in just a moment. Sam Shady joining us here on the program as we talk CFL Division Finals. What do you think? How do you see what's your pick for Montreal and Toronto? Given the fact that it's at BMO Field, Montreal's coming off of an extra game. Toronto had a chance to rest, winning the East Division, and as you said, Vernon Adams is no longer in Montreal. I'll give you a factor that could play huge for the Montreal Alouettes. His name is Jake Wieneke.
I would agree. I mean, personally, I am going to lean towards the veteran team, and that's going to be Montreal. I honestly just think they're going to pull it out some way or another. Like you said, Jake Wieneke, and then they got Eugene Lewis. There's several playmakers on that team. That team is just unreal. They loaded up this offseason. That we saw the couple trades that they made to bring in, the big time talent, the top end of the draft, and I think it's going to pay off in the playoffs. And ultimately, I think we see them take the victory here. It's probably going to be a close game, and as much as I would love to see BC win, I think it might be a Montreal Winnipeg Grey Cup this season.
I got both road teams winning, but BC and Winnipeg is going to be a high scoring game. Very high scoring game. Do not be surprised. And I'm saying it right here and now. Do not be surprised if it's a 40-point game for each team. It'll come down for me to who has the ball last, because you got Zach Collaros on one side, Nathan Rourke on the other. I don't think I want to say I'm close to saying that defense is optional, but it's Zach Collaros and Nate Rourke. Don't be surprised if there's like 900 yards of passing offense in this game.
Oh yeah, I could easily see that. It wouldn't surprise me at all if we see some crazy stat line like 1,000 passing yards and like 7 touchdown passes or something like that.
I mean,
it's going to be a great game.
Yeah, it'll come down to who has the ball last. I think Nathan Rourke. I think Nathan Rourke can pull the upset. Sam goes Winnipeg. Montreal. Ryan McCarthy and I go Montreal, BC. What do you guys think in the chat? Who's going to win the division finals? Now let's turn our attention to the NFL. Eagles in Washington on Monday night. And something that Wise just said a moment ago, it could very well turn out to seeing Philadelphia lay one big fat goose egg on Monday night against Washington because they'll take Taylor Heineke too lightly, but I don't think that to be the case.
I mean, I'm very worried about this game. Washington's been hot. I mean, they did just lose a game, so I don't know. I really saw some flaws in Philadelphia's offense this past week,
Yeah.
and I really think that we're not necessarily the juggernaut that our record makes us look like.
Mm-hmm.
We've beat up on a lot of teams that aren't necessarily all that good, and we have beat some good teams, but I think Washington's going to be a really good test. Their front seven is incredibly good. Their secondary has some holes, so we'll see if they can hold up against the wide receivers we've got. But I think they'll be able to stifle the run game. I think they'll probably be able to keep Hurts contained. If they can somewhat stop A.J. Brown, this game might be closer than a lot of people expect.
Philadelphia is favored by 10.5 going into this, according to FanDuel Sportsbook. We'll do some more picks later, courtesy of Caesar Sportsbook. Give me a final score, Sam. Which way are you leaning?
Well, I am leaning towards the Eagles, obviously. I do have that bias rolling there. But I don't think it's going to be over 10-point victory. I would say something like 34-27 or something like that.
That would not surprise me. That would not surprise me at all to see it that close, because for some reason, and Cole, you've mentioned this also, Washington over the years has played Philadelphia very tough in Philadelphia. And it's in Philadelphia Monday night with a national audience, international audience, if you think about it, watching this game. And everyone wants to see how many flaws can Washington expose.
Exactly. And there's flaws to be exposed. So I'm just saying Houston gave a little bit of a blueprint, so it'll be interesting to see how it shakes out.
Houston ran the football a lot last Thursday night. Houston ran the football to the tune of over 200 yards. And that seems to me going forward, and I want your thoughts on this, Sam. That seems to me going forward seems to be the major flaw for Philadelphia.
I would agree. And Washington's got a couple different guys that can definitely run the ball. I mean, between Gibson and Robinson, this could be, like I said, a closer matchup than a lot of people expect, because honestly, Washington's got a deep backfield. And going forward, we face a division full of deep backfields. So, there might be some losses on the horizon coming up quick.
The second half of the season starts Monday night for Philadelphia as they try to go to 9-0 on the year. Sam Shady joins us, and I need to make this announcement. Sam and I and a couple of others are going to cover something very, very significant on the 16th. Sam, the floor is yours.
Yes, sir. So it was finally announced that the XFL draft will start at 11:30 a.m. Eastern time. So Brian, my co-host for my USFL podcast, Travis Lemon, will be joining us. Unfortunately, Cool will not be able to join us that early. He'll be kicking in a little bit later. But definitely will be extremely fun to cover the first draft for the 2023 version of the XFL.
Man, I can't wait. I cannot wait to cover it. I cannot wait to be on live with you guys, 11:30 Eastern time on all of our channels. We'll make sure we do a lot of promotion. And I just started a Discord server. So find SDM Sports Radio Network on Discord. I'm busy putting that together as we speak. That's why for those of you watching on television, I'm looking over here at my second monitor, just busy putting all kinds of stuff together. And I want to thank Bitter Truth Sports for hooking me up on some game when it comes to social media. So refining the attack as we speak. Sam Shady joining us here on the program as he does every Friday, talking football. He says Montreal and Winnipeg. I go Montreal, BC. We'll see what happens, and we'll have Sam back next week to talk Grey Cup and more. Thank you, Sam. Love you, brother. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you, Sam.
Definitely. Have a great weekend.
You too, man.
See, I gotta go visiting teams in the division final. Not because I don't love, I love the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. I nearly fumbled that name. I love the Blue Bombers. I just want to see Nathan Rourke pull the upset. just like Hendon Hooker did against Alabama. And Alabama's, let's go there. Alabama's chances for the playoff. See ya. You don't think so?
Maybe not.
Look, if LSU can stave off being beaten by Auburn, Arkansas, and Texas A&M, then you're right. But I get the feeling if they stumble once, I think Alabama's going to run the table, and then if they beat Georgia in the SEC championship game, we will see two SEC teams in the Final Four, and one of them will be Alabama, even with a 2-loss season. Sickening, but yes.
Yeah, we was discussing that yesterday. I don't want Alabama to be in it. I want to.
I don't either.
I want to see something different, but the powers that be might not agree with us and somehow screw everybody else and go with the money. I know. It's
I'm with you. I'm with you, brother. I'm with you. I don't want to see it, but I think we will.
That's what these games are about right now. It's just all about the money.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
it's not about the kids.
Until they
it's
change
not
that
about
system.
It's all about the money.
It's not about the luster of the bowl games, because y'all remember once upon a time it was all about the bowl games. It was all about playing 12 games in the regular season and then getting to a bowl game.
Or the merit of the
And
team
Ryan-
season. Yeah.
Merit of the team season. And I'm inclined to agree with Mr. McCoffey. Alabama somehow will sneak in as a 2-loss team, and that would be such a crime.
If they win the SEC championship game and they beat Georgia, that will happen. Oh, I'm sorry.
Mhm.
If they beat an undefeated Georgia at the time, like they did last year, that will happen.
Yeah, they did. They did. And thank you, Victor, for that. Here comes the money. Here comes the money. Enter Shane McMahon. Yep.
Money.
Yeah.
Shing, shing, bling, bling, count the dollar.
Bling.
Yep.
If you ain't talking money, then you're talking don't matter.
Ching, ching, bling, bling,
Bling,
dollar,
bling,
dollar.
patent pockets.
That's a shame.
I never thought I'd remember that song, but when I first heard it in 2001, it never left my head. Never left my head. Let's pause for one final break for the hour, and then hour 2 gets us started. And for some reason, I have the feeling that Cole's evil genius will start hour 2. Let's take a break. We'll come back with our call of the day, and we'll get hour 2 started. This is Snowman in the Morning with Wise El Jefe and Cole Johnson. Back in a flash.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Discouragement, sorrow, distance. Your arguments cause damage to your family. The hurt leads to divorce. You feel like there is nowhere else to turn. But there is hope for you. That's where we come into play. There is an overcomer that lives inside of you. One ready to take on the world as you leap for joy, living in victory. You'll grow to love yourself and others. There's life after divorce, and you can claim it today. Get Over Divorce, where your new story begins here every Thursday on YouTube and Spreaker. Have you had a chance to visit the Snowman in the Morning shop yet? You haven't? Then what are you waiting for? Go to officialsitmorn.com, check out the shop when you type in the word shop, and you'll see things like, a coffee mug that's available, a sweatshirt, a t-shirt, and a whole lot more. And while you're buying items from the Snowman in the Morning shop, you can support the Snow Strong Carolina mission. We got a lot to do and a short time to get there. Go to officialsitmorn.com/shop, check out all of the gear, and wear the same gear that the crew wears. And when you're doing that, tell them Snowman sent you.
I want to show that attainability. I want to show the accessibility of this kind of lifestyle. From social media to having conversations with friends and family, you always have to put on face and say face.
What brings a smile to my face is the one person that totally believes in me, and that's my beautiful wife, Jody.
I just had to stop because I didn't value myself. I didn't love myself. And it's like, I have to learn to love myself.
Changing the world one conversation at a time. This is Revelations.
Steph Curry, Tim Anderson, Jordan Alvarez, and it's caught. Debo Samuel with the catch. Michael Jordan consents. The throw just got the king.
BS3 Network.
The hottest of hot takes. The coldest of cold hard facts. This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Weekdays at 8 a.m. Eastern. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure. Cause we take this job so serious.
What in the all types of blue hell?
Yes, it's Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson.
It most certainly is. It's the Fantastic Football Friday edition of said program. And even though it's a football Friday, it's a baseball call that will be our call of the day, presented by Cricket, the official wireless carrier of Snowman in the Morning and the SDM Sports Radio Network. We take you back 1 week ago Saturday when this happened.
Rubber. He was on the mound when the Astros clinched the ALCS with that sweep. Mancini playing behind the runner at first. He goes, and the pitch is lifted to right by Castellanos. Long run for Tucker, over toward the line, and foul territory. Makes the catch, and the Astros do it again. 2022 World Series champions. For the second time in 6 years,
all right, baseball season is
the
over.
Astros are baseball's best.
Which first of all, it had it had Wise saying this,
Moot 'em!
and it had Cole doing this. There's a somber look on his face, and I don't understand why. But I will say this. I am so happy for one Johnny Dusty Baker. Thank you. He got his ring. He got his title.
Thank you.
Very well deserved. And before Cole has an aneurysm, looking at, you know what? Hell with this. I'm going to make Cole dance even more because they would not have gotten to that point were it not for this one.
And Alvarez belts it deep to right field. Gets it goodbye. Unbelievable. The Astros a walk-off win. Jordan Alvarez a walk-off 3-run homer. And the Astros stun the Mariners and get one of the division series. Incredible.
The house of horrors for the Seattle Mariners continue as they mob Alvarez by home plate.
Steve Sparks and the great Robert Ford bringing you our calls of the day. And when I saw
Jordan Alvarez homer started it, and a 3-run Jordan Alvarez homer ended it. Yes,
that Alvarez home run in the division series against Seattle sent the Astros on their way.
Yeah,
it sent them on their way, and we talked about it the following Monday. You kind of knew Houston was taking it all when they should have been blown out the water in game 1 against Seattle. Now, I give Seattle a ton of credit, because Seattle had that game in the bag. They did. They had it in the bag. But Robbie Ray threw a curveball to Yordan Alvarez.
Vic, I just let them enjoy themselves. It's okay.
Look,
I didn't have high expectations. I knew we was going to lose to them anyway. So,
and with
but
that,
to me,
yes, sir.
Just Brian enjoys it a little too much.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm saying I get Cole's reaction because Cole is an Astros fan.
Yes.
Since you just love it a little bit too much. That's all.
Whatever are you talking about?
That's all.
Whatever.
I get it. I understand why. I understand your White Sox are trash, but that's okay.
This is.
I get that.
Wow. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. My apologies. They're not trash. They're pretty good. They got a good core coming up.
Let me the Astros.
Hey, we made the World Series. We made the playoffs.
This is where World Series champions. I knew Wise was going to bust. I knew Wise was going to bust my
Astros.
Hey, Wise, let me say this. I'd rather be a White Sox fan going through a rebuild than a Cubs fan going through a rebuild right now.
No, wait,
I will take that. I will take that. I will take that. Listen, knowing we got to see the big bad Yankees, knowing we got to see the Astros, the Seattle Mariners.
Of course it would. I would expect it to be reversed.
I will take my fandom of the White Sox, the Giants, the Cardinals, and the Astros over being a fan of the Cubs right now.
I think Andrew is channeling Wise with you.
And they're going to be in hell. The Chicago Cubs and their fandom and their fan base are going to be in hell for a very long time. And I'm going to enjoy it. And I have an announcement to make. Beginning Monday, this brings me so much pride. WIRUDB Internet Radio Chicago will pick up Snowman in the morning.
Oh, dope.
Hometown radio station. Okay.
Yes.
How salty do you think Cubdom is seeing the Astros switching divisions win the World Series?
Quite salty. Quite salty.
And doing it with their former manager.
Even saltier.
Former manager. Yes.
Even saltier.
They're gonna send me access where I can upload the show to them. It'll air at 11 a.m. Eastern time in Chicago from 11 to 1 via tape. Since we're on, but yeah,
congratulations.
Just nailed the deal down about 30 seconds ago.
Congratulations.
Awesome. Congratulations. Well, congratulations to us.
Chicago, we're in Ohio. We're in Chicago. We're in Ohio. We're in a couple other places also, and I'm working some stuff in the South also. So yeah, we are really, really getting it together. A quick reset, and then Ben Sutter, hour 2. Even though it's officially started, it begins right now.
All right. Let's see, which one should I do? Here we go.
Cause we take this job so serious.
What in the all types of blue hell?
Yes, it's Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson.
You better believe it. Now on my hometown of Chicago, and Ben Sutter is now going to be the man in charge
of the BS3 network. How are you doing, man?
Hey, doing good. Glad to be on the show.
What's going on, Ben? Here, man.
Good, man. Good. Real quick. I've been rocking to that Nas KD3 on the way.
King Disease 3.
King Disease 3 is out. No features either so far. But go ahead.
All right. I didn't know you like Nas like that. Okay.
Yeah, Nas is my guy, man.
Oh, cool. Well, you got taste. That much is for certain. That much is for certain, man. All right. So now the Cowboys, they will be traveling to Lambeau this weekend. How good of a chances do you think they're going to have in meeting and defeating the ayahuasca-led Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers?
So I feel pretty good, but this skid that they've been on, who knows? You know, Aaron Rodgers may be on his top game. Obviously, he wants to beat us. He's got a winning record against us. I'm sure he wants to beat McCarthy as well. So I'm kind of on both sides. I think we're on a run. We had a bye. We got some guys back healthy, so we'll be ready to go. But I do think Aaron Rodgers is going to probably play with some vengeance. Definitely how they've been going so far in these past couple games. So
now I will say aloud that I don't have a dog in the fight, but given how my family feels about one Aaron Rodgers, and my wife just texted me the question just a moment ago: are we picking the Cowboys to beat the Packers because we don't like Aaron Rodgers?
Yes.
I'll answer that question right now. Hell yes. I can't stand Aaron Rodgers. He's a fraud. He's been a fraud since Super Bowl 45. And he can't even beat a quarterback that only threw the ball 8 times in an NFC Championship game. Oh, did I say that aloud?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say this to Ben. I will say this to Victor. And y'all are seeing and hearing the evidence live. I hope y'all kill the Packers and Aaron Rodgers on that frozen tundra, because Aaron Rodgers needs to go away. All right? Yes. Jordan Love needs to start, and Aaron Rodgers needs to be told, hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more.
Aaron Rodgers needs to go home, pick his feet, and be happy drinking ayahuasca.
Because he sure as hell is not. And there are people. I'm gonna give Ben. Let's give Ben the floor on this one. There are people that keep saying to this moment that Aaron Rodgers is one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I'll say this one live. Who told this lie?
Wonder Bread Choir.
Wonder Bread Choir. I love that right there, man.
Does it not work?
That is great.
Does it not apply?
Aaron Rodgers is not the best quarterback at all this year. And honestly, if you look at his complete body of work, he's won 1 Super Bowl. Yes, he's won MVPs. I get that. But he has not been able to work well with his teammates, period. And you can tell during this season. So yeah, he needs to. I think the way this is going, he may do the same thing he did last year, saying he wants out, saying I don't want to be here anymore. Even though he's the one that said, "Hey, I need these moves to happen." He got Randall Cobb back. Has that made that big of a difference? I don't think so.
No.
So I mean, you're getting what you asked for. So don't complain about it now.
I mean, Devontae
couldn't have said it better, Ben.
Adams. Okay, does that tell you Devontae Adams?
Well, no, they both. I'm sure Devontae regrets going to Oakland, and I'm sure they regret letting him go because they're both suffering right now.
He might, but
he thought this was Derek Carr. He thought this was Derek Carr from Fresno State. It's not the same Derek Carr.
That's what it was.
It's not Derek Carr from Fresno State. It's barely Derek Carr. It's barely Derek Carr uninjured.
Yeah, he barely able to pass you the ball. That's not the same Derek Carr, buddy.
His name was Derek Carr from 2016.
Nope.
Yeah, and then last week I think he had 10 catches, 100. It's like they tried to make up for all the
10 catches, 149 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, and they still lost.
And still lost the game.
And they still lost.
Yeah. And it's one of those things where their head coach is a great offensive coordinator, but once he becomes a head coach,
and nothing more.
Just like Matt Patricia, Josh McDaniels sucks as a head coach.
Joe Judge.
Joe
Yes. The only one, Brian Flores is the only one I can really think of that made a difference when he got to a team. All the rest of them are just clipboard holders.
Well, Ben, unfortunately, 250 miles to the south of you, Bill O'Brien made a difference too. He was a Belichick disciple, but he made a difference by destroying the team.
Yeah, the wrong direction. Yeah.
The very wrong direction.
He may have won playoff games, but he destroyed the Texans.
The fact that he traded DeAndre Hopkins, arguably the best wide receiver, for David. Who was that? David Robinson. What was that?
No. David Johnson.
It doesn't even matter what his name is because it wasn't
cast. He traded DeAndre Hopkins, who was at the time the best wide receiver in the NFL, for a walking freaking cast
in his prime.
The dude in his prime, yes. The dude gained over 1,000 yards 3 years before he got him.
When that happened, I was like, yeah, he's trying to destroy the team. He's what they call it quiet quitting or whatever. That's what he was trying to do.
Yes, quiet quitting. Yes, that's the right term, Ben.
Quiet quitting. That works.
And that actually is a thing. That's the messed up part. It actually is a thing.
Oh my God. It is.
Oh my God. But yeah.
Quiet quitting.
But to your overall point, Ben, you're absolutely correct. No Belichick disciple, including Romeo Cornell, who's probably the closest that's made a positive one, has actually done good for a team after they split off from him.
Yeah. And Romeo Cornell's had jobs. He's a great defensive mind, and he's had a lot of DC jobs and stuff like that. But I think to have that ultimate success, none of them have really had it.
No.
And none of his other QBs have had it either.
Yeah.
Jimmy G. But other than him, no.
Well, I mean, Brian Hoyer. I mean, he made a career being a clipboard toter.
Yeah. He made a career backup career,
right.
Yeah.
Future head coach.
Yeah, I think Hoyer might be the future head coach of the Patriots if the way they're going with it. Yeah, I agree.
The only defensive coordinator I can think of, and I know I'm dating myself here, the only defensive coordinator that has success in managing a team and making all three parts of the team perform to their expectations. Does the name George Seifert mean anything to you?
Well, I mean, there's others that you could think of.
Yeah.
I mean, Tom Landry's another.
Tom Landry. Yep.
Yeah. But yeah.
But the first one, since I started watching football, the first one I can think of is George Seifert.
Yeah.
And Bill O'Brien is getting his comeuppance in Alabama. Did I say that aloud?
Yeah, the bright offensive mind that people still think he is and is not. Yeah, he's now ruining the program in Alabama.
The Tennessee game should have taught him that.
But see,
Tennessee game should have taught him that.
But to your point, though, Ben, the best Bill Belichick disciple ever, Nick Saban.
Period.
That's the best one, and number 2 was not even close.
Yeah, and whenever you don't make it in the NFL, where's the first place you go? Nick Saban.
You go Nick Saban.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
the
like
home of lost the home of lost NFL head coaches. Yep.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So Sunday, Zeke looks like he's gonna be back. He's listed as questionable. Anthony Barr is questionable. Donovan Wilson is questionable. But I think this week off definitely helped all these guys. Micah, I cannot wait for Micah to get to Aaron Rodgers, and we can use that meme again with his helmet halfway off and he's laying sideways.
6 sacks. Calling it right now. There'll be a record because Aaron Rodgers cannot move out of the pocket. 6 sacks.
Then are you saying you want your Cowboys to be uber physical with the Packers?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Yes.
I'll answer that. I don't have a dog in the fight, and I'll answer that question. Hell yeah.
And I think they can be, sir. I agree with you. In fact, I think they need to be uber physical with the Packers because to me, the Packers, the mentality, and it was put on full display for the Lions. The offense, the defense actually held its own against the offense. They are absolutely soft, and so I really believe the Cowboys on defense, if they could just bring that lumber to them, it's gonna be a long day for the Packers.
Can Micah Parsons forget 6? Can Micah Parsons get 7?
Hey, I hope so. I hope it's a
7?
record-breaking day.
Yeah,
I hope we break the record for sacks.
I hope it's a record-breaking day and a shutout.
Well, your fellow Cowboys fan Victor Locke believes in the same thing. He says he's going for 9.
I'm going 9.
I love
He's going
it.
for 9.
I love it.
Over. Hey, I'll set the bar at 6, over and under. Okay, I say over because I want them to beat Aaron Rodgers up.
I want the brakes beaten off that fool.
I want Aaron Rodgers to get beat to shreds. I don't want him to have any chance or any semblance of hope on his home field whatsoever. He needs to
please have the performance on defense to be so bad that the Lambeau faithful boo Rodgers.
You know, I'll make a comparison here. I want Micah Parsons to do to the Packers what Nick Bosa is going to do to Justin Herbert Sunday night.
That has been my number one thing about Aaron Rodgers, Victor. I've been needing him to be humbled for a long time.
Well, he's going to get humbled Sunday.
Yeah. Well, honestly, he's getting humbled this season.
Yeah,
because it is not working out at all.
He needs to severely be humbled.
Yeah. I mean,
he gambled this year and is losing currently.
Mm-hmm. Because
he took a gamble on himself. And Sig Diggy, thank you for this. Humble Aaron Rodgers like the Iron Sheik.
But you mentioned the success Rodgers had against the Cowboys in the past. He also had similar success against the Vikings in Minneapolis. The season started there, and it was horrible for him there. So you might be in for the same thing when you go to Lambeau Sunday. I just don't see the Packers doing anything close to how they looked last year, the year before that against the Cowboys, who now have all the confidence in the world, especially on defense. I don't see it. I don't see it.
And they just lost. They just lost against the Lions of all
teams.
Possible teams.
Here's what's the worst part about it. The Lions are the worst defensive team by points and yards in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
You only managed 3 field goals against them.
3.
How putrid is your offense if you can only score 9 points against the worst defense in the NFL?
Pretty damn putrid.
Yeah.
Pretty damn awful. I put you in the Campbell clutch and I make you humble. I hope that happens to Aaron Rodgers this Sunday.
This might be a trap game, though, right? This could be.
I know that
because they go to Cowboys go to Minneapolis.
I didn't want to mention
burying the Packers right now.
I didn't want to mention it, but this could very well be a trap game.
It could be. It could be very well Victor that Ben and Victor be talking next week like, why did we talk all that smack?
In fact, shout out to King Doc. He mentioned this on the show that you, Ben, and Wise co-hosts on Saturdays at 9 Eastern, 8 Central, NFC Beast. He actually said he was hoping that the Vikings would win last Sunday so that they wouldn't have that big nasty taste in their mouth when they go into their bye, and then after that they come out of it and they want to win against the Cowboys when they face them next week.
Mm-hmm.
So Ivan got his wish.
Yeah. So it could definitely be a trap game. I agree with you there because one thing about the NFL and definitely about the Cowboys is that they're definitely looking forward. But you gotta take it 1 week at a time, like the great Jason Garrett used to say. You know, you got 3 phases of the game. 3 phases of the game.
And with that, we're going to a break. Then we'll do some picks, and y'all know what's happening at the bottom of the hour. Ben Sutter joins us here as he does every Friday. Cole, you stupid. I love you, man. We love you. Thank you so much for coming on. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Big.
Yep, man. No problem. Appreciate you guys.
All right, man.
A break.
Ben didn't do the lineup for today. Oh man.
And you know what's gonna happen at the bottom of the hour. We'll see y'all back in 4 minutes.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Have you had a chance to visit the Snowman in the Morning shop yet? You haven't? Then what are you waiting for? Go to officialsitmorn.com, check out the shop when you type in the word shop, and you'll see things like, a coffee mug that's available, a sweatshirt, a t-shirt, and a whole lot more. And while you're buying items from the Snowman in the Morning shop, you can support the Snow Strong Carolina mission. We got a lot to do and a short time to get there. Go to officialsitmorn.com/shop. Check out all of the gear and wear the same gear that the crew wears. And when you're doing that, tell them Snowman sent you.
BS3 Network. Changing the way you watch TV.
Steph Curry, Tim Anderson, Jordan Alvarez, and it's caught. Debo Samuel with the catch. Michael Jordan can sense. The throw just got the king.
BS3 Network.
The hottest of hot takes. The coldest of cold hard facts. This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Weekdays at 8 a.m. Eastern. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure. Hey everybody, Snowman here, and thanks for listening to this episode of Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Want to tell you about a little thing we like to call Monkey Knife Fight. Wait, what? What in the world is that, you may ask? Well, Monkey Knife Fight is a daily fantasy site where you can play your favorite games, support your favorite players, and make money at the same time. And right now, if you go to monkeyknifefight.com and use the code Snowman, you will get a 100% deposit match on up to $100 on your initial deposit. Go to monkeyknifefight.com and use the code Snowman for an up to 100% deposit on your first deposit of up to $100. Thanks, and tell them Snowman sent you.
So I realized that I think, even though it's not advertised,
right,
there has to be a place for stupid people. We don't know because we're not stupid, so we don't know anything about it. It's like a secret club society.
Oh my gosh.
So I come to the conclusion that he graduated from SU, stupid university. Yeah, all the stupid ass letters that go along with graduating high honors of being stupid. I can't do no more, man.
Vámonos, dominos, vámonos. Stupid university, where everyone graduates. Magna cum stupid.
Okay, John Houseman.
How did you know who I channeled? That's what it was. I didn't even tell you I
That's
channeled
too
it.
easy. That's too easy. Smith Barney. They make money the old-fashioned way. They Come on, John Houseman enunciates his words the same way you did in that ad. It's too easy. All right,
yes,
let's get to some picks. And we start at Soldier Field. Lions and Bears. Bears favored by 3. How? How the hell is that happening? Well, it is the Lions who beat Aaron Rodgers and held that team to 9 points. Cole, you go first. I don't want to even look at the game. You go
Lions
first.
and Tigers and Bears in bad games. Oh my.
Oh my.
Okay. We know that the Bears want to run Justin Fields like he's preparing for the marathon, the Olympiad in 2 years. And the Lions, they play hard for the head coach, but I just see them faltering here. I go with the Bears. I just don't think the Lions will have anything for them in Soldier Field.
I'm going with the Bears, and I'm going to lay the points. I'm going to pick them to cover. Wise?
I'm going with the Bears.
Seahawks and Buccaneers in Germany. That kicks off the Sunday slate at 9:30. I don't have a dog in this fight. I can't stand Tom Brady. Seattle's leading my division.
You know who you need to root for.
I'm going to do this. I can't believe I'm going to do this.
You know who you need to root for.
You know who he's going to root for. I don't know why he
So Brian's picking the Bucks.
I'll take Leonard Fournette and the Bucks, and I'm taking the points.
Wow, I'm flabbergasted. Yeah, right. Flabbergasted. Seahawks.
All right. I'll be collecting my receipts on Monday. Maybe.
And I'm saying this because I do not like Geno Smith. But I don't like how the Buccaneers offense. No, I don't know how the Buccaneers as a team look. They look horrible.
Yep. Vikings and Bills from Rich Stadium. The Vikings have a better record than the Bills. Yep, and the Bills are in serious trouble with the injury to Josh Allen. And since it's a 1:00 game, I'm going visitors. I'm going Vikings, and I will take the 3.5 points. Cole.
If the Bills aren't starting Allen, I say it's the Vikings. If the Bills are starting Allen, it's going to be a close game, but the Bills eke it out. I get the feeling that he's going to start. So I'm going to go Bills, but this is basically going to be like a last-second field goal type of game for me.
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised. Wise?
I am going Buffalo.
Broncos and Titans from Adelphia Coliseum. Tennessee favored by 3. You may as well double it. Give me King Henry and the Titans, and I'm laying the points. Cole?
Is Nathaniel Hackett coaching the Broncos? Yeah, Titans.
Yep. Do we make it unanimous, Wise?
Unanimous. I do not trust Nathaniel Hackett as far as I can throw him.
No.
Big Blue and the Giants host the Texans and in the Meadowlands. Giants favored by 4.5. I say they win by double digits. Give me the Giants, and I'm laying the points. I don't even have to ask Wise which way he's going. Cole, do you make it unanimous?
Yeah, Wise is picking the Texans.
Yeah, absolutely.
And of course, that look says everything we need to know.
Giants. Giants going to dog walk the Texans.
Let's go late games. Cowboys and Packers. I think we all discussed that. We don't need to rehash that. Cardinals and Rams. Rams favored by 1.5 in SoFi. I'm rooting for a tie.
Well, I know why you're rooting for a tie. We've been rooting for you.
F them both. If the Cardinals beat the Rams, they would be doing my team a serious favor, and I don't have to explain Sunday night.
Didn't Kyle Clifford get fired?
Yes. If he doesn't win, he's gone. If he doesn't win, he's gone.
If Cliff Kingsbury doesn't win this game, he gets fired?
Oh, I thought he was fired already. Okay, no. My bad. I thought he was fired.
Nice.
They should have fired his ass.
They should fire him. He shouldn't even got the job in the first place. But
I was almost positive that they fired him, but hey,
they should.
So was I.
They should.
So was I. Browns and Dolphins from Joe Robbie Stadium in Miami. I'm going with the Dolphins, and I'm laying the points.
Where's this game?
Don't ask me. It's 1:00, and it's at Joe Robbie Stadium in Miami.
And who are they playing again?
They played the Browns.
They're playing Brown and the Elf.
But they're not playing. But they're not gonna stomp on Brian the Elf though.
No, they're gonna beat them.
They're gonna stomp all over him.
No, that defense is pretty good. They're playing okay football, but the Dolphins got too much offensive weapons for them. Adding Wilson and those receivers and Tua coming back playing how he was playing prior to that debacle of concussions. But
yeah,
I'll go with Dolphins.
Colts and Raiders at 4:05 in Vegas. I am shutting up. Cole.
The Colts.
Come on, give me that pop. Give me that disappointed dad look.
I'm just wondering how the hell Jeff Saturday has a job.
Same.
Jeff Saturday has a job because he has a relationship with Jim Irsay.
He's a legacy. He's part of the old boys club. I get it.
But
he's a legacy.
But I did say he never coached on air. I'm wrong. He coached. I think it was a high school team in 2020.
In Georgia.
Yeah, in Georgia.
I don't care about high school. Don't care about high school.
But he's never coached in the pros.
You got Gus Bradley, who coached, who was a head coach before.
What makes it even worse? You got Reggie Wayne on the staff, and you don't elevate him to head coach.
Nope.
But you also have Gus Bradley, who has head coaching experience.
Oh, I agree with you there too.
But yet you go with
Jeff Saturday.
Jeff Saturday. Who ain't seen an NFL? Ain't seen a sideline as an NFL coach ever.
If this
you
is
all
an old
know,
boys club thing,
you
I don't
all
know what
know
it is.
You all know the rooting interest in my house, and the look that Cole gave me when I brought this game up, I got from my wife. That should tell you everything you need to know. Don't have to talk Monday night because we already did with Sam. Yeah. Last but not least, you know where I'm going Sunday night.
Yeah. So all of us are picking the Chargers in that game.
Are we?
No. Hell no.
You know darn well Brian is not going to pick the Chargers over the 49ers.
And the Chargers are going to get dog walked Sunday night. That's at Levi Stadium. I'll do a live play-by-play and reaction for that game. All right, we've done our picks. Push the button, please.
All right, here we go. I said, here we go.
Okay.
Come on.
Will you push the doggone button? Let me say it the way Wise would say it. Will you push the button?
Unfortunately, I'm trying to push the doggone thing. For some reason, it does not want to react.
Then I'll push the button.
Go ahead and push it.
I'll push the button.
Don't soil this program by putting crap on it. Joe Buck, I cannot take him. I just no dice. I'm glad Carlos Boozer finally took the kiwi off his face. It should be on your shoes, not your face. It's kiwi shoe polish, for God's sake. LeBron should come clean about his age. I wish baby Jesus that I had alcohol in this container because I need some after watching Screaming A. Smith.
Baby Jesus? Really?
6 pounds, 7 ounces. Go tell 5 of your friends and 8 of your enemies that Chris Bass will be in the air.
I had to give it my Gene Honda impression. Good morning, Bass. Good to have you.
Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning to Rain Man. Good morning to the Mad Scientist. Good morning to Wise All, everybody in the comment section, and a hearty good morning, boom shakalaka to all of you. Before we get started, my love and respect to all the veterans today and all year round. They make our liberties what they are. We couldn't do something like this had not been for the veterans. So always thank you for your service, all of you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
Now
I know you, sir. Did you, sir? I didn't know about that.
U.S. Army. Yeah.
Now I gotta have an answer from Bass, as only the way Bass can answer it. The top of that intro. Why can't you stand Joe Buck? I never bothered to ask this question.
Oh, sure.
But you knew
until now. I have my thoughts, but I want to hear from Bass.
To me, Joe Buck reminded me of the guy in high school who thought he was cool. It's a false coolness. And you're the only one who thinks you're cool, and you're not. Everybody's in reality, and you're not. And God love him. His father was an outstanding broadcaster. I had nothing against his father. His father was fantastic.
Oh, Jack was legendary.
Jack was legendary. Jack was legendary in his time.
Mm-hmm.
And the state his father's in right now can still out-broadcast his son.
Yeah. Cold day in the grave.
Thank you.
Out-broadcast Joe. That's cold.
And Jack has been gone since 2002 and can out-broadcast Joe.
You say Jack could out-broadcast Joe cold, dead for 2 decades in the grave.
It doesn't matter. That's how good he continues to be.
Speaking of veterans, let me shout one of my dearest friends, Charles Faulkner, who's
yes, brother,
tuning us in this morning.
Thank you for your service, Charles.
I wish I had alcohol in this cup when we're talking about when we're talking about Joe Buck. When the White Sox were in the World Series in 2005, and of course Fox had the broadcast, I heard Joe Buck do his introduction, and I turned it off.
Okay, and that's rare for you because you actually like Joe Buck. So why?
Here's the reason. His name is John Rooney, who was the voice of the White Sox at the time, and I got as far as Joe Buck saying, "This place is jumping." And I'm like, duh. I'm like, duh.
Jumping,
shut up. And what pissed me off about Joe Buck even further, he wasn't. And shut up. Shut up. I don't want to hear that song. My wife doesn't want to hear that song either. But be that as may, Joe was meh when it came to the White Sox winning the World Series. He was.
See, Joe was thinking about that song when he was saying that.
I'm gonna sock you dead in the eye. I won't, but
I
know what you're talking. I know what you're talking about, though.
Yeah.
But Base, thank you for confirming the answer to my question. I love Jack. Jack did it right.
Jack couldn't do any wrong on the mic.
Jack did it
no
right.
wrong on the mic.
Joe, however, and now he's at ESPN destroying that Monday Night Football broadcast.
Well, there's nothing wrong with your wife working there too. His wife works at ESPN.
Yes.
So she could have been, helping him make the pitch over there for a long time when it's time over there with Fox at the same time. So these things happen. You go from job to job, and I liked it when you had another crew in there. When you had Louis Riddick and Bob Grease. I like that group. That group out of Steve. Those guys I liked.
I don't know if I like Steve.
No, I'll take them over these rat bastards that's on here now.
Not that I hated
the fellow who I liked doing Monday Night Football when it moved to ESPN was Mike Tirico.
Not that I hated Steve Levy. I actually like him. I just got the feeling that when he was in the booth calling football games, I was like, you'd rather be calling a hockey game, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
That was the feel I got when I saw.
I'll take Steve Levy asleep over Joe Buck. Look, I mean, I understand what you're saying, Cole, but you gotta come correct, Doc. And you understand this guy. This is before earlier.
True.
Just because you say a line from a certain decade does not give you street cred.
No,
if you don't have street cred, just like back in the day, if Joe Buck was in the studio calling, say, football, this field right now is on and popping. Boy, that play was crack-a-lacking.
Yeah.
No, Doc, no. Go have some vanilla syrup and enjoy yourself. It's okay. Just stay in your lane.
Emmitt Smith's run was fresh.
He goes, "Oh, this was lit. This game is lit.
This game is lit."
I can hear him saying something like that now. That's the best part. Wise.
There's a big difference, right. and Base makes an excellent point. There's a big difference between Greg Papa, the radio voice of the 49ers, saying he likes it lit at Levi Stadium, than Joe Buck's saying that there's a big difference.
The one who I credit doing that on national, the late great Stuart Scott. Stuart Scott was able to bring that street cred into broadcasting and give it some flavor.
But
no offense to people came before him,
but it was him.
Stuart Scott, though, man.
That was him.
That way.
That
that's
was his
point.
natural bent.
That's my point.
Now, I think the ultimate reason to put it in terms of understanding, I think the reason why you're not a big fan of Joe Buck is because he culturally appropriates a little too much for your and pretty much everybody else's liking.
Somewhere in the ballpark.
Yeah, it's no dice for me, Doc. It's no dice. I can't do it.
It's like you said. It's like you said in the intro. You just went, no dice.
No, Doc.
Can't
do it.
Can't do it.
Hell no.
Hell no. Thank you.
Oh, he got a heck nope.
We got a hell nope out of that. I love
That's
it.
right.
Wow.
I love it. Chris,
And let me say this. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Please continue, man.
Chris Bass joining us here on Friday morning. Go ahead, Bass.
Yeah, what's on
you
your
mentioned
mind?
earlier about Jeff Saturday now coaching, interim coaching for the Indianapolis Colts. Let me say this about everything, and you probably addressed it.
Mm-hmm.
My time in working in terrestrial radio, they were a lot of people, and I do mean a lot of people who did not belong in the building.
Mm-hmm.
We had no acumen, no experience, no nothing. But because they knew somebody, whether it was through family or friendship or whatever, got into the building and was able to do okay. Now, the thing about it is, I realized it took me a while to get to this. I've had two parents over the years who always show the example of what you do, because they both leadership position in their professions,
right?
About putting in hard work. And usually when you put in hard work, you do get rewarded for it. You get advanced in the company, things like that. Now, that's how my sister and myself grew up in that household. And I had the same mentality getting into radio. Unfortunately, not everybody's described that same philosophy.
No.
Now, that's the way I came up, the way other people came up similarly. But there's other people who backdoored, who got in from the building because they knew somebody, who had no experience whatsoever. And it happens, on a daily basis. I thought was the wrongest crap I've ever seen in my entire life because, again, taking myself out the equation, there's people out there who are more qualified to get certain positions. But because of where the position is, the other person, of who they know, family nepotism, the whole thing, it happens all the time. And so I like Jeff Saturday as a broadcaster. I really like him a lot.
Same.
But we'll see. Stranger things have happened. But people should not be surprised of, why get it? Because he knows the owner, and the owner knows him. The owner made the shot.
Thank you.
That's it.
Thank you.
It's not brain surgery here.
Thank you. That's exactly what I've said. I was like, he has a relationship with Jim Irsay. So that's the reason why he's there. Now, I think it's ridiculous that you actually have a former teammate of Jeff Saturday's on the staff.
My thing is,
and you don't elevate him to head coach, but who am I?
My thing is, then why have the Rooney Rule?
I've been like that. I've been like that ever since the Raiders hired John Gruden, without even provocation of thinking about anybody else, and Mark Davis's bowl cut behind, just like, that's our guy. We don't give a crap about anybody else.
But why
bowl cut Brigham himself, Mark Davis?
Just might as well get rid of the Rooney Rule.
I agree. I think they should.
It's not benefiting anybody.
I think they should because
many of those
NFL owners don't respect it.
They don't respect it. Part one, and part two, they don't use it to the letter of the law. They use it to their own benefit.
And it's to the point now where they've extended not just to head coaches, now it's for front office positions too.
It's ridiculous. It's stupid. It's not changing anything. We still have even less black head coaches in the NFL than we did before. So,
and there was an opportunity to have one in Indianapolis. The great Reggie Wayne.
Reggie Wayne was on the staff.
To your point, Wise. So when the rule was instituted about 20 years ago, there was 3 black head coaches.
Now,
well, I can't remember now, but as of the draft this year, it was 2.
We have 3 men of color in head coach's position because Robert Saleh, he's of course Mike Thompson, and you got the guy from Miami. He's half white and half black.
Yeah, McDaniel.
Mike McDaniel.
And what's George's name?
Well, of course, you got Bowles and
Todd Bowles. Yeah.
I mean, I know there's many more since, but the thing was, here it is 19 years later. And at a time in 2022, you actually could say that the NFL had less people of color head coaches than when you instituted the rule.
I don't even think about the GM positions. I don't even think I could think of one right now.
The GM positions, I think it's like one or two. I can't think of them on top of my head, but yeah.
Speaking
just
of
get rid of the rule. Just get rid of it.
Blow the rule up because it's non-beneficial.
I'm with you, Wise. I'm 100% with you.
It's non-beneficial. They look for ways to avoid that rule to bring in who they want to bring in, Jim Irsay.
And listen, this is his team. It's his team. I have no problem. My thing is why have that rule if it's not going to benefit anyone? If it's not really being held, not being used properly,
and no one wants to say anything about it.
It's done behind. He's not jump behind the wheel drunk. But I'm sorry, my bad.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm done. I just wanted to just make that point.
I'm glad you did, man.
Same.
So, what's on your mind?
Look on Base's face says everything.
No, nothing wrong with spirited conversation. So that always works. I had a friend of mine I've known for years call me up. She had advanced screenings to see Black Panther Wakanda Forever.
Yeah.
And so she mentioned about a character she wasn't familiar with. And there was a character in there that I was a fan of since I was a kid in the comic books. Namor, the Submariner.
Yes.
And I've loved Namor the Submariner since I could go back damn near Babies and Pacifiers, man, getting the comic books. And for me, he was probably one of the first anti-heroes that I read about. This guy and his character, and I'm surprised it's taking that long to develop him, but as you know, Marvel, they always had these, tier characters, their top tier characters, then the characters come along after that. And so to look at the Submariner on screen, I knew exactly who he was. I first saw the trailer. It's fantastic. And so see, people like that, I grew up watching the old cartoons and reading comic books. People understand some of these comic books were really good. I mean, as far as like not only drawings, but storylines. If you go back to like, say the Ant and the Wasp, not the version we got now, but in the comic book version, Hank Pym, the character you saw in the movie played by Michael Douglas.
It's the original Ant-Man, yes.
Right. When Hank was younger, he beat his wife. He, got into scraps, and you can't do it now because people take offense to it.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, what you showed in these storylines were people who were incredibly flawed. And just because you're a superhero does not make you perfect.
No.
True.
You may be a superhero, we put a costume on, but in real life, you ain't so super. So
listen, I grew up reading comics. I'm a big comic book kid, and the words and it helped with my vocabulary. It helped me with and they had real life subjects on it. There'd be episodes that you did see. I mean, you did see women get beat up in the comics by the husband or whatever it was. But this is how comic books address those real life situations.
They did. And again, when I was a big fan, I was reading like most of us of Stan Lee during his time in creating and helped pushing out Marvel. When he created the X-Men was based upon civil rights. You had people going against people of color, and you had people like Dr. King and Malcolm X. Magneto was Malcolm X, and Professor X was Dr. King. And that's where the idea came from to create the X-Men, because they were different from other people. And they were, chastised and shamed for it.
Yeah.
So when you look at the mirror reflection of these storylines into reality, what does it say about us?
Yeah, we're not a monolith, and I think people seem to want to borrow what we talked about earlier with Joe Buck. It seems like people want to just simply cram who we are into this small box. Where here, this show is a prime example right now. I mean, all four of us are black men, but all four of us have four different viewpoints as black men. But all four of us are proud of being black. But all four of us are proud to being ourselves. And how you are based is different from how.
Wasn't that the key?
Yeah.
Isn't that the key that we've always been taught to be ourselves?
Mm-hmm. And how you are based is not how Wise is not how Brian is not how I am. But the brilliance is we could be black, but we could be ourselves, and we can appreciate the others for the different layers of human that these other black men are.
But you got to understand, we bucked the whole thing because supposedly black men can't work together.
We're supposed to be at each other's throats. Yeah,
and we killed that a long time ago.
And that's what the thing is, that they say that we can't work together because we let ego and pride get our way. We never that's not true.
And I can say this on air right now. These three gentlemen for sure. I have been in this space 7 years. These are the three least ego-driven human beings I have worked with in podcasting and in content creation, period. And I'm not saying it because I'm on air with this gentleman. I'm saying it because of the experiences I've had.
Well, I'll repeat something that Wise and I talked about earlier. I can tell you 10 people that came to me and made the suggestion that I needed to have a partner for my show when I first started Snowman in the Morning.
Mm-hmm.
And the next part of the story, they would offer their
own services. Mm-hmm.
They would offer their own services instead of letting me make the decision. The first time I had Cole on the air with me, it clicked. And I just wanted to be sure and continue to be sure. I even brought it to my wife when she heard Cole and I go back and forth on the air. And she just said, make sure everything's laid out, make sure everything is written down. And if you got all of that, go with it. I didn't even have to ask, especially. And the point where that really sealed it for me is when I was going in for surgery and I had already brought Cole aboard as my partner. And I said, can you take the chair while I recover? He didn't even have to answer me. He said, you just go heal. You just go kick cancer in the ass. I got this. And there have been so many times I've checked in from my hospital bed and Cole was busy raising hell, and I've loved every minute of it. I mean, there were Fridays when I was in the hospital and bass would be on and I would just roar with laughter.
Bass would be bass.
And the nurses, I swear to you, would come flying in. They would come flying in and they would go, are you okay? Because they would see tears in my eyes, but they wouldn't realize they would be from laughter. When I officially offered Cole to be my partner, I didn't have to ask anyone else. And I actually did ask like 3 other people, and unlike Cole, they never got back to me. Oops.
And for me, when I assumed the position, especially actually running the show for real, my thought was, all right, yeah, I can sprinkle in my own juice and all this, but this is not my creation. This is someone else's creation. And I want to respect the person who created it, whether it is whatever creation he brought forth or whoever guests that he brings forth. Bass is one of them. Wise is another. So it's like, okay, so, I did not know either one of these two gentlemen from a can of paint come April of this year. But now I consider 2 of them brothers. Because I had that much respect for Brian, I'm like, okay, so these 2 gentlemen must be a quality human beings. So let me get the chance to know them both. I was blessed to do that.
Well, we're blessed to have you, and I'm blessed to know Bass for as long as I have. Bass and I have known each other since 2006.
That's too long to know somebody.
Too long.
I don't know how we got this far, to be honest with you. I thought it would drop off 5 years ago.
I thought, listen,
not too long.
You've had people. I think this is where Bass can go off. You've had people that you've known entirely too long, and you want to cut them loose.
Susan, I had to do that. I'm going to cut you off. I had to do that this year. I had to cut off 2 people I've known for over 10 years. One was over 20, Another one was going on 10 to 12.
Wow.
And I had to cut them both
Over
loose
20
because
years of lists.
yes,
Wow.
yeah,
okay.
And it was not by my doing. My so-called brother went ghost on me. I have no idea why. Only he has the answer. And so at this age and the stage in the game,
yeah,
when that happens, you're dead to me. I'm like the gangsters. You're dead to me. I don't want to hear nothing from you anymore. Because there's no reasoning for it. Only you have the answer of why you cut me off. And just as real as I can get. I'm trying to manifest the best years of my life. As I said before, from the movie, what was it? The Bad Boys recent movie. We have more time in backwards than in front of us. So you got to look at life for what it is. If you want to play games at this stage of the game, count me out. And like Shark Tank, and for that reason, I'm out.
Yep. Yep.
And I had a partner I was down with like that, 10 toes down, I thought, up until I got married. And he was supposed to be my best man. So this is about maybe 2 months before. I said, all right, so you know what a wedding is. I want you to be my best man. You'll be able to make it. He's like, yeah, sure. I'll be there for you, brother. Dapped it up. And I've been married to wifey for almost 12 years. It'll be 12 years next month. I mean, 12, not next month. 12 years, I'm sorry, next week.
Congratulations.
And thank you. And I ain't heard from homeboy since.
Of course not.
Ain't heard from him.
Yeah. Now, I don't even have to tell this story. Cole knows it. Wise knows it. I got married almost 4 years ago to Jody. Do I need to complete that sentence? For those of you who have seen me and my wife out and about, or seen pictures of Jody and I, do I need to complete that sentence?
Any woke Negroes that you have for friends fell off. I already know.
Fell off. Okay? I called Cole Christmas night 2018 because I was feeling bad. Jody had already fallen asleep. The first person I called was Cole. And Cole said, look, let me break this down to you, man. Does she love you? Yes. Does she make you happy? Yes. Does she make you laugh, man? Yes. Then who the hell are the other guys to say what they say? I tell you something, man. You found what you needed to find. You found your heart. Keep it that way.
You need to bury that Tony Montana and you need to bury that. After today, do not use that ever again.
And I'm probably going to use it on you next. I'm full.
Don't use it ever again.
Okay?
Don't.
But I did.
Bury that. Bury him. Bury him today.
No, I'm not burying him.
Oh
no, I illustrate. I did that for a point.
It sounded like a mixture of Italian and Cuban together. It was not Tony Montana.
I'm not trying to be Tony Montana, okay? I'm not trying to be Tony Montana. But the point is, funny. The first person I called was Cole, and those were the exact questions he asked me. And since then, it's been a joyride with Jody and I, to a point where Cole and I made it a skit the first time we did Snowman Unfiltered. And the first time I mentioned Jody, we were like 2 minutes into the taping, and Cole says, "You married a white woman. I can't be friends with you anymore." He and I busted out laughing. My wife comes outside, hears me, hears the exchange, laughs herself, and walks back in the house.
Because it's stupid.
It's stupid.
It's absolutely stupid. If one person makes you happy, who gives a crap what he or she looks like?
Yeah, it doesn't matter, man. It's all about happiness. We got like Base said, man. We have all these years behind us. We got to worry about what's ahead of us.
Yeah, man.
If she's the one who makes you happy,
that's all that matters. You ahead of the game. That's the way I look at it.
They're upset because they're not happy. They're miserable.
Exactly, so and they wanted to
put that on you. They want you to be miserable with them.
There you go. Misery loves company.
Yeah, they're going
to be a part.
They love it. They love it. Believe me, they love it.
Love it. Them doggone crabs. Get your ass.
Yeah.
In a barrel, yes.
Exactly. Exactly. And for all those who fell off,
that's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
I had to play that. Let me do that again. Didn't play it loud enough.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
And Base, you're correct, man. All four of us have too much life that we've lived that's behind us, not enough in front of us, man. I don't want to live life regretting stuff.
Exactly.
That ding was for you when you were doing it earlier.
Thank you.
But it's like they said that there's 5 things that people regret before they die. I'm saying happiness is one of them. People choose, like, they don't understand that you choose your happiness. Regardless of what you've been through in your life, you choose to be happy or not.
Yep.
And with me, I choose to be happy. That's why I'm with my wife. I love my wife because even though she's a pain in my ass, but she pushes me to be the best that I can be.
What's that sound I just played?
Find the lie.
There. Find the lie.
No matter how rough she is.
Find the lie.
And me and Clovis have had conversations about this and all that. And there's nothing out there another woman can offer me that my wife brings to the table.
That's right.
Let me play a little Let me play a little Gallagher completion of that sound.
My Gallagher.
Perfect game. Perfect game.
That's
all I gotta say. Perfect game. And I can't think of anyone I would want to do this thing called life with than Jody.
And same with me, Michelle. And there isn't a woman. There isn't a woman that can push me to be the best man I can be than the wife I have now.
There ain't another woman that will make me. Okay, here I go doing Looney Tunes again. There ain't another woman in this world that would make me go, "Holy on smoke!" the way Jody did when I met her 4 years ago in September. I mean, to a point where, like I said, here I go with Mel Blanc again. To a point where any kind of harm happens to her and my family. Bum.
Oh yeah, they're catching hands.
They're catching hands. They're catching feet. They're catching a super kick, a stone cold stunner, a last ride. And Jody said to me when I said that, she goes, "I know you won't let any harm come to me, and if it happens, I know you'll go off."
I mean, it's to the point. My wife has said to me, "Don't go off too bad, baby." She's actually said that to me. I'm like, no. If a fool wants to jump fly with you, they're gonna receive knuckles, and if I have a piece, they're gonna receive some lead too. No.
This is for this one. No. This one's for Victor. And here's how we'll close up. Yeah, Hassan Chop. They're gonna get more than that. They're gonna get more than that. All I have to say, with every other move that I mentioned, the only other move I'll add to that is clothesline from hell, because I'm taking a head off.
Thank you, JB.
I'm taking his head off. Period. I'm taking his head off. Anybody wants to that and think I won't react? Hell no. They're catching hands and knuckles and fists and everything. I can't find another woman who will push me to be my best, stand behind me and with me when this pursuit is going on, and just be there.
Yeah.
And just be there. Especially after what I went through this past year health-wise, from the blood clots to pancreatic cancer, and I'm still here. She says to me every day when I feel depressed, she will put her hands on my shoulders and she says, "Look, I need you around. I need you, period." Wow. She says that to me every day. And A Pizzle, thank you. Add this to the list.
Strongest weapon in a woman's arsenal is her vulnerability, man.
We leave y'all with the great words of Jim Valvano. The most precious gift that one person can give to another is their belief in him.
He was right. Yeah. He was 100% right.
Jim Valvano said it best.
And I'm blessed to have 3 brothers like you gentlemen. That encourage me and push me to be the best. Because when I watch y'all show, when I watch Base, it just motivates me. It just motivates me to take my show to the next level because of his professionalism, the way he deals with it, the way he deals with his lives and all that. He's another show that encouraged me to do my show live, and just the way he's embraced me as a brother, I appreciate it. Bass, just want to let you know I appreciate you, brother,
man.
and you're amazing. And Snowman and Cole, same thing with you, brothers, man. Y'all have helped me become a better man, and I appreciate it.
Well, you guys certainly.
You're very kind, and I appreciate that. And I guess for me, like anybody else, certain people who subscribe to it, I didn't get to where I am by myself. I had people help me, people encourage me, and I could not wait to return the favor during and now, especially when you gather more experience to help people, to impart wisdom and guidance. And so, no, man, we can't do it by ourselves. If you can do it by yourself, then God bless your ministries. So usually most people need some assistance and some help and the ability to listen, not only with your ears, but with your heart and mind. That's two different types of listening.
Yes.
When you're able to do that,
yes,
you can get impartment of all types of information to make you stronger, to make you better. As the old $6 Million Man TV show back in the day, better, stronger, faster.
Faster.
Absolutely. So I know we're out of time. This has been a great enlightenment for this segment, but please remind me next week to talk about the time I worked with my lesbian coworker.
It will be done. Okay, let me.
You don't have to tell me what You know what, Bass? Drop. You know what, Bass? Tell us what happened. We got a few minutes. Go.
Okay, you sure? I don't want to. I know you're on the clock and everything. I don't want to get into too much detail because there's a lot of detail to get into.
Okay, then we'll save it for next.
We'll save it for next Friday. Okay,
we'll save it for next Friday.
Yes.
Bass had a lesbian coworker next week on Into the Boom Shakalaka.
There you go.
And you know,
right. You can promote it if you want to.
I'll have to. Oh God. Now I'm reminded of the time I worked at Cedar Point in 2002. I'll have to share that story next week also with Bass. We better get out of here. But Bass, we love you. Thank you so much for being a part of this every Friday. And I can't wait to hear that story next week.
I'm looking forward to it.
I am too.
I am so looking forward to
it. Before. I'm looking forward to it too. But as A Pizza says, Bass is saying, gotta go, gotta hold.
That's right. Not me got a hold, but it happens.
Right. Ryan says, leaving the segment on the cliffhanger.
There you go, Ryan. That's right. Cliffhanger.
That's what we have to do more often. Thank you, Bass.
I used to write that name real quick back in the day. You know, when your teacher wasn't there to write up, Jim Shoe. I used to write Cliffhanger. So that was my
Cliffhanger. There it is. And I can think of 100 other names like that all my Catholic school teachers gave me. Thank you, Bass.
Absolutely. Gentlemen, have a great weekend. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Don't soil this program by putting crap on it. Joe Buck, I cannot take him. I just no dice. I'm glad Carlos Boozer finally took the kiwi off his face. It should be on your shoes, not your face. It's kiwi shoe polish, for God's sake. LeBron should come clean about his age. I wish baby Jesus that I had alcohol in this container because I need some after watching Screaming A. Smith.
Baby Jesus? Really?
6 pounds, 7 ounces. Go tell 5 of your friends and 8 of your enemies that Chris Bass will be in the air.
And you leave for the cliffhanger.
Yes.
Damn it.
You see, not all the time does the show have to go this way.
But since this is us we're talking about, 99% of the time it does go this way. Now I got TV's bloopers and practical jokes in my head because a familiar sign-off. Hey, put that. Oh, okay, it's right here. A familiar sign-off that Dick Clark used to do all the time with Ed McMahon. In the meantime, remember this.
So I realized that I think, even though it's not advertised,
right,
there has to be a place for stupid people. We don't know because we're not stupid, so we don't know anything about it. It's like a secret club society.
Oh my gosh.
So I come to the conclusion that he graduated from SU, stupid university. Yeah, and all the stupid ass letters that go along with graduating high honors of being stupid. I can't do no more, man.
Vámonos, dominos, vámonos. Stupid university, where everyone graduates magna cum stupid.
I swear you put the emphasis on that for a reason. I swear you purposely put the emphasis on that. We better get out of here. For the wise man, for John Cole Johnson, I'm the Snowman. We say to y'all, have a great weekend. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you,
you're fired.
I know it. At least I will not speak it into existence. If your dreams don't scare you, they're simply not big enough. Dream big, do bigger, and Cole will have more craziness next week. We're out of here. See you Monday.
Thank you for tuning in to Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson, the hottest of hot takes and the coldest of cold, hard facts.